game day, baby! Let's go!
Welcome, everyone, to NFL Nation Live, a special Tuesday show because Ref Guru has some scheduling issues and all that craziness. But anyway, thanks for joining us on a Tuesday late on the West Coast and even later on the East Coast. Ref Guru, along with the Hall of Famer, Violator, and the legendary Captain Jack. We're going to go through everything that happened in week 3. We got a butt kick. We got a holding call. We got all kinds of crazy stuff. Bad clock management, offensive lines that can't block. It's on and on and on. But we'll close the books on week 3. Get you ready for week 4. And then it might be time to put some teams on the clock. But before we get to all that, V, welcome to the show. What are your first quick thoughts, my friend?
My first quick thought is, what is the temperature inside the sauna? Because it's definitely on right now. And are there teams that's even considering tanking for different reasons? That's my question.
Interesting. Well, I don't think one of them's the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, but we'll talk about that and everything else. I know Cap is on one hell of a schedule, including a new foe rolling in from the Gulf of Mexico. We'll talk hurricane, whatever the hell that is out there, but I know he's ready. I'm ready. I think the bigger question is, I don't know, V, how about you, my friend? Are you ready?
I'm taped up for overtime. Let's go.
Welcome, everyone, to NFL Nation Live, our special Tuesday show for week 4. Violator, Ref Guru, Captain Jack here to get you ready for week 4. Close the books on week 3. V was ready for overtime, but there was a couple teams didn't need overtime. One of them was Pittsburgh. Went into Cleveland, got beat. It's pretty much what we talked about, right? We'll open the chat here in just a minute. Thanks, everybody. But, guys, this is kind of what we talked about, right? The Browns got the running game going. They got it running early. Pittsburgh really didn't have much of an answer for that. It's not that their defense is playing bad. They would have played better, obviously, with J.J. Watt in there, blah, blah, blah. But really, I think the issue here, as we finish week 3, get into week 4, we're starting to see some trends. One of those is points scored, and Pittsburgh's just really not getting it done right now, guys, on offensively at least.
Definitely. But that old mantra that we're going to go back to, run the damn ball.
Yeah. We're going to repeat that about 50 times in this show for some of these other games too, right?
And if we don't hit 50, let's just start a fund jar to put, raise some funds for that. But at least 50 times, run the damn ball. That's all Cleveland did. It was nothing spectacular. And when Pittsburgh got behind and they started to pressure Trubisky, the wheels just came off of it, man. You said, they didn't score enough points to win, but running the ball has a special meaning in a contact sport game.
Yep. Well, and I can understand, that they might not want to start Pickett this week with their game against the New York Jets, because I think that's a game they can win. But if they don't get it done and somehow the Jets pull some other kind of miracle, which they seem to be doing every other week now, this would be the week, because last week it wasn't, so to speak. Are we going to see Pickett?
Nelson Pickett, or is it Wilson Pickett?
It's Kenny, I think. We're talking about the quarterback they drafted out of Pitt.
Oh, no, I was talking about the rock star.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one? Okay.
Yes, it was.
Well, I'm so much younger than you, Cap. I didn't catch that one. Stay strong, Raider Nation. We're going to need to stay together for this season. Yeah, well, get your tailgating crap dusted off. But I'll tell you what, if they don't beat the Broncos this week, we're putting them on the clock. And the only reason why we're not putting them on the clock is because I think they're going to beat the Broncos. That doesn't mean that they're not going to get on the clock sooner rather than later, but I think we can delay it for 1 week. But anyway. Wow, New Orleans went into
I'm hoping-
Carolina, take on the Panthers. I think I picked Carolina in this one. New Orleans wasn't ready to play. I don't know if they're going to be ready to play this week in London against the Vikings. The only problem is I don't think the Vikings are going to be ready to play in London against the Saints. Wake up call for Kirk Cousins is the game's at 8:30 in the morning, not 8:30 at night. So we'll figure that out.
You
But there
like
really
that? You
Yeah,
like that?
there really wasn't much to say. I mean, Panthers got the win. They needed the win. They needed the win to kind of even the division up, so to speak, a little bit after Tampa Bay lost because Atlanta won, blah, blah, blah. So it is what it is in the NFC South, NFC South. But the Panthers got the win. Used to win in Chicago, couldn't get it done. Lovie Smith couldn't beat the old team he took to the Super Bowl. But you know what? The Texans gave the Bears all they wanted. I don't know if you guys saw any of that game. But the Bears just kind of walked around acting like, yeah, we can beat them if we really want to. And the Texans were like, no, because right now there's nobody guarding the Alamo. So we need to get back to Texas. And they almost got it done. The game almost ended in a tie, so to speak, at least in regulation. The Bears were able to get the field goal for the win. But, that's a Bears team that better show up this week against the Giants because the matchup against for the Giants against the Bears is better than the one they had last night. Against Dallas. Kansas City went into Indianapolis, and are we all Colts fans? Woo! They got the job done. What happened to the Chiefs in Indianapolis? They spent too much time at St. Elmo's the night before. Cap, what the hell happened?
Hey, by the way, I still want to check that out because I know that you told me to go there, and I wasn't able to go there. You need reservations.
Oh yeah, but I know the owner, so just let me know. We'll get you in there.
Oh well, gee, that's good to know now. When was that? 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was 2019.
So that's what 36.
But anyway,
7. That's about 800 days too late.
Yeah, well, but I've got a reason to always go back to Indianapolis, so maybe we should find a reason to do that.
Okay.
Isn't ready. You're right about that, Ed. I don't know. Tomlin might be ready, but his team isn't. So maybe because Tomlin isn't ready. I don't think might be true. But the guy who's never ready seems to be Andy Reid, and he got beat by Indianapolis. So Tomlin might not be ready, but I think he's more ready than Andy Reid. Andy Reid just doesn't.
Andy Reid is ready for what's the name of that place with the pancakes and
IHOP?
No,
where the one-legged waitresses work?
The southern one.
Junior IHOP?
No, it's here.
Kentucky Fried IHOP? I don't know.
No. See, I got to frigate. It's the one I always drop on Alex on the Wild Wild West show because his card looks like a menu from that place.
Oh, it does, yeah. Well, it probably says, at the bottom, it probably says comes with fries and a side of slaw.
Waffle House. There you go. Thank you.
Waffle House, yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
His scorecard looks like a menu from the Waffle House.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Buffalo went into Miami and got butt kicked. I mean, the Dolphins gave away a safety, almost gave away the game, but they couldn't get it done. The Bills are angry after, but you know what? Too little, too late. Why don't you show up angry prior to the game? This whole being angry after the game stuff, I don't get it, guys. How do you go into the locker room, how do you go meet the media after a game and say, well, you can't turn the ball over and play blah, blah, blah. Hey, have that discussion on Thursday before your division game on the road, so you're not having to destroy the Surface Pro upstairs. I mean, I don't understand this, guys. Can somebody explain to me why the teams afterwards, that's what they say? Well, yeah, you can't go in there and turn the ball over and have all this miscommunication. Hello? What are you doing between Monday and Friday? Get it together, y'all. I mean, I don't know. You're going to do that, you deserve to get beat.
I was going to say, I heard that he who shall not be mentioned because it's a swear word on my show that plays quarterback for the fake Pirates destroyed a Surface Pro. You mean somebody else did?
Oh, yeah. You didn't see the Bills
OC.
Offensive coordinator?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Up in the booth, the Bills OC went apeshit after the game. He destroyed everything in front of him. I thought he was going to bust the window clear out of the out of the press box. But yeah,
I will actually have to go look that up.
oh
If
yeah, it's worth
Classic.
it's worth the 9 seconds of
Yeah,
him going,
meltdown.
oh yeah,
Meltdown.
oh yeah. I
All
think
right.
I think Meltdown's putting it lightly, but
Yeah,
the
'cause-
Bills ran out of time, ran out the clock, couldn't get it done. So there you go.
But you
Win
know
Show
what?
Donuts. Love
To
their
me,
donuts.
it was a coaching, it was an out coaching duel, and that's why the guy had that explosion up in the coach's box because he
Well,
knew.
I
You
mean,
know,
of all the, when you've got the team that you've got in Buffalo, and then you go down there and get beat by Miami, this division game on the road, they deserve to be pissed off, but they should have been off on Thursday. Is what I'm saying.
and you remember Tua was on gumbo legs after he got slammed to the turf.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
hit,
yeah.
huh?
And then there's the whole controversy about what he's
Right,
going to do or not do. So
right.
I don't know. I think if he plays on Thursday against Cincinnati, he's still not going to be 100%.
100%, no way. Yeah.
I actually like the Bengals in that game, not because they're the better team, but because it's a short week. The Dolphins spend all this time talking about other stuff. I mean, just because they beat Buffalo and of course they did get the win, that was a division game and it was a hard hitting game. So they probably
Hard
not going
hitting.
to get out of the whirlpool until noon tomorrow. So then they got to get on a plane and go play the Jungle Cat. So we'll see. Yeah, Ed says he lost his mind. He's probably still looking for it, quite frankly.
I need to watch that. Then.
They
I
definitely got their
apologize not
wings to go.
knowing.
Hey, Cap, that was much see TV, man.
It absolutely
that
was.
sweet.
Oh yeah, and quite frankly, V, I was surprised they caught that. But I guess there's cameras everywhere.
But there's cameras everywhere, and just nobody expected that to ever happen in the coach's box.
And you know what?
My God.
The Emmy Award will go to the producer because the producer has all of those camera views in front of him. Cut to 2, cut 3, cut. That's what his job is.
That and the audio guy who probably had to push the mute button.
Right, he had to push mute. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to see it, Cap. Oh my God.
There was he probably said a whole bunch of things, none of which was a complete sentence or had a noun in it for like a minute. What's happening, folks? Well, we're talking week 3. We're going to close the books on that. GA Patriot, I got a word for you. If you're out there listening, I was rewatching last week's broadcast, and there was evidence that maybe you gave us the correct answer to our trivia question before we gave the answer. I need you to let me know. I sent you an email about it. Maybe you didn't get it. Sometimes Gmail forgets to send my stuff. I'm not sure why. But anyhow, if you gave us the last week's trivia question, remember, was what year did NFL retire the jersey number 00? And the answer was the year 2000. And then I was I didn't see the answer, but then I was rewatching the broadcast. Looks like maybe GA Patriot gave us the answer. The question is, if he thinks it came in before we gave the answer, then we're sending you whatever prize we had last week. I'm not sure what that was, but we'll figure it out. We'll get you something.
Now, didn't Georgia Patriot win the week prior to?
Jay won that, I think. I'm not sure. I've lost track. It's week 4 already. Dude, I got ref's amnesia. Hell, I'm still pissed off I lost in Tennessee. I don't know who won what, but I think it was.
No, not that I would begrudge Georgia from winning 2 weeks in a row. Okay.
He said 1973.
He said that's it.
Well, you know what?
Maybe it was Cool Kev. Maybe
I still owe Georgia a pat. So, partner, we got to get that squared away. You need to come. I know I'm hard to find because but I still need to give you a patch for anyone. So there you go.
Well, it's safe to say that a lot of our hardcore followers are going to win something this year anyway. To hang in long enough. So
I was right.
All right, Detroit, whatever.
No, Detroit.
Yeah, okay.
If you're going
whatever
to
the hell they are.
Say it fucking right, okay? You have to say it with an accent, okay? It's Detroit.
This is just for
the F word. I'm sorry.
Just for those that are out there, this is NFL Live After Dark. So we're doing it. We're doing a late show. Anyway, whatever the hell they are, went into Minnesota, got beat by the Vikings. They had to lead, couldn't hold on to it. This is a Lions team that, quite frankly, guys, I don't have a lot of respect for. They've won some games. They've they lost really ugly, if you will, in Minnesota to not be able to hold on to the lead. They're going to go home this week against Seattle. I think maybe they can clean some up. But, again, Richie Rich will tell you that this is a Lions team is pretty dangerous. It's just not with Jeff Goff out there now, or whatever his name is. I think Richie Rich is right about everything else, Detroit, but not the quarterback. So, but are you going to go out there and blow leads like that, a division game on the road that you really need to win against the Vikings? It might be week 8 or 9 before we have to put them on the clock, but they're still number 2 in scoring. So whatever Goff is doing, they're doing something right because they're behind Baltimore by only 1 point. Number 2, Baltimore leads the NFL in scoring 96 points, and Detroit's right there with 95. So they're doing something right.
We might get to 96 points by the end of the year.
Maybe.
Well, they'll probably get a couple more than like that. I mean, if Detroit is who we think they are, then Seattle's going to get their wings handed to them in a ugly kind of way on Sunday. We'll see. I mean, that could be 42-10 if they're really going to be what we think they are, but we'll see. Baltimore winning New England, take on the Patriots. This is a bigger struggle, I think, than we expected. I think we all knew Baltimore was going to win this. The bigger issue may be that the Patriots have lost Mac Jones and Brian Hoyer, pretty decent backup. So I think he can hold the bench, so to speak. But, Mac Jones, I don't know what you think about him or don't think about him, but he's your starting quarterback, so you lost him. But, the Ravens didn't blow him out. What was it, 37-26 or something? So what is that, 9 points in the Kentucky Mountain, which I guess in the NFL is pretty good. And Baltimore's leading the NFL in points. So New England's way down there like at 21 or something, 25 something. But what do you think it says more about the fact New England can't win at home now with what's his name gone, the fumbler, or do you think Baltimore's for real?
Baltimore's for real to me. And my campaign slogan is pay Lamar. Because he really single-handedly just took over that game.
Yeah.
And a certain team needs to be pay a certain scout to look for some quarterback like that, with those kind of characteristics about him. But I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there.
Ed says we should put the Raiders on the clock. You know what? If they lose against Denver, if we lose against Denver, we will. I'm going to give them another week or two. It's going to be ugly though, because even Denver, guess what? We get to go to Kansas City on Monday night and get our ass handed to us, probably. So we end up if we're 1-3, then we're going to be 1-4. Another loss, we probably will put them on the clock. But I'm going to wait one more week just to see if they can get their act together, but I doubt it. Lions score more points per game than the Broncos score per month. That's true. That's absolutely true. Your team is only as good as who they play against. Mm-hmm.
That
so was my high school team, quite frankly. Why don't the Raiders go after Jackson? Well, because right now it'd be tampering, but after the season, maybe so. That said, we can't leave New England without going to Coach Bill. Coach Bill, you moving on to Green Bay, or what's going on over there?
Well, first off, I'd like to say that I'd like to congratulate Violator for doing that wonderful Richard Pryor impression. Pay demand, just like out of Silver Streak. So I know that that's probably what his agent is doing. Pay demand. I like that. I think I'm going to watch that movie again. It's on to whoever the hell we play next, but it's amazing. I think I saw a meme that said that the reason why I haven't named an offensive coordinator this year is because I expected McDaniels to be back after a couple weeks. That might be true.
Well, I can tell you're moving on to Green Bay, and you're going to go to Lambeau and get your ass handed to you. And I'm going to go watch that one. So we'll see. See if sure.
Well, then come have dinner with me, and we'll figure it out as well. Just say, hey, it's on Belichick. I mean,
Belichick. Hey, Coach, I got one other question for you. It says Matthew said, "Did you get McDaniel's text? He wants to come back."
I can neither confirm nor deny that. It's on the Green Bay.
I'm sure you can't. Green Bay by 30. I think you missed a zero on that, Ed, but sure. Big head, small hoodie. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a league issue hoodie. Cincinnati went into New York, beat the Jets. I'm a little disappointed the Jets didn't show up, but the Bengals did. So there you go. Las Vegas went into Tennessee, somehow got beat by the Titans. This is a Titans team that couldn't crap if you gave them the front door of the toilet. And then, of all things, we played well enough to win. We played well enough to win the other two games, but we didn't get it done. We get the beep 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 holding call on the pass to Waller that would have given us first and goal at the 2 or 3. And you talk all you want to about any of the calls you want to. You talk about whatever you want to talk about. He said, she said, woulda, coulda, shoulda. That call sucked. That call sucked so bad that
How bad was it?
That if you went to a brothel on dollar night, it would have been a bad deal. So angry is what I am.
I can sense it, man. Come on.
I mean, that's just
hey, but
the immaculate reception was one thing. The fumble thing, I mean, those were egregious. I mean, that was beyond it. But that holding call down there on the big pass play that would have, in my opinion, guys, would have changed the outcome of the game. We get a touchdown there, and I realize you get a lot of speculation about, well, we woulda, coulda, shoulda done. But this was a 2-point ball game where even a field goal would have won it.
Absolutely.
So that play screwed the whole game up and just pissed me off. Fortunately, this week with Land Clark's crew, pretty decent crew. Back Judge Greg Meyer, I know him, good guy. I know Land Clark too, actually. Rare that I know so many officials on the same crew because I'm so old now. But I've worked with Greg Meyer, and he's a good man. And I don't think he's got a biased bone in his body. I don't think Land Clark does either. And I think his mantra to his crew, go out and have a fair game. I really believe that with that. So I really don't think next week, first of all, next week I think we're talking about a Raiders win. But I think next week we're not going to be talking about the officials like we've been talking about for almost the first 3 weeks of the season. Cap, you were there.
Not 1, not 2, not 3. No, I'm sorry. We talked about for at least the first 3 weeks.
So, Cap, you were there. What did you see? Besides a holding call.
I saw, and I mentioned this on the show earlier. I saw some cheerleaders that weren't worth spit, except that the best cheerleader was some very skinny black guy, and that's what I saw because they were right in front of me. And yes, you heard that right. Their best cheerleader was a skinny brother who actually could dance better than all of the girls that were there. I also saw just sheer, I don't know what the term is, but sheer dumbfoundedness, or it might be a new word, from all of Raider Nation, seeing how the Titans, who were like, couldn't get out of their way the first couple of games, just went out and just totally shoved the ball down, kind of like the George Carlin thing that they're going to take a football, put it in shit and shove it down somebody's mouth when the Raiders were good again. But it was the Titans that were doing that to us in the first half. And yes, they did keep Henry to under 100. And I said that if you keep Henry at or below 100 yards, you should win this game. And they did that. That's
right. That's right.
Just in the first half, they couldn't get out of their own way. And Henry kind of blew over them. And they were up so bad. And they didn't get any touchdowns. And, Charles Barkley would say it was terrible. Raiders played terrible. And when I went out to the food stand, and people are saying like, oh, they're going to come back. They're going to come back. I said, I was like, in Missouri, man, show me something. Yeah. They did show me something in the second half, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And we are 0-3. No, it wasn't. We're talking about the Raiders being on the clock, and that's just piss poor.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to wait one more week out of respect for the team. But And I think they'll beat Denver. So I think we wait till maybe week 6. Remember, we don't have a week 5 show next week because we're taking a bye. In 4 years, we haven't taken a bye, but Ref Guru has scheduling issues. But back to the comments in there, it was 24-10 at halftime. That's pretty brutal when it's already 24-10. But if that I think that's true, but that means the Titans didn't score any points in the second half, right? Then we lose 24-22.
24-22, absolutely.
So we gave up 24 points, but it was all in the first half. If you're going to give up 24 points, I'd rather give them up in the first half than the second half. I'd rather shut them out in the second half than shut them out in the first half, and then have them score 24 points in the second half. And then there was another comment that said tight ends dropped some touchdown passes. I don't remember that. I'm sure it happened, but I don't remember.
That was one for sure.
I know Waller dropped a couple. He caught the one where they threw the flag.
Right.
Why can't they throw the flag when he drops the ball? Right? They could throw it on that. I don't care about that. Anyway.
Can you say orchestrated?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. On that play?
Orchestrated. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah.
If go back and look at that play and tell me when the flag came out. Okay.
We'll never see that footage.
Well, but the point is that, first of all, on the right guard, there's no way with the umpire now back across from the referee that has any way in hell of seeing that. When he was back behind the defensive line, yeah, you could see that. Back where they're at now, can't see that. So the ball goes way down the field to the right side of the field. I mean, not the correct side. I'm literally mean the right side, the TV side towards us. That's right in the line of sight of the umpire, who can see over the line and decides, oh, yeah, I can't have that. I got to have a holding call. Bullshit.
Is that the one that Matthew was talking about?
Huh?
Is that the one that Matthew 72007 is talking about? Because again, folks, I know they didn't show.
Yeah, they never showed it. Yeah, they never showed
it. They never showed a replay in the stadium. Remember, I didn't see the game. I didn't see any footage. I have yet to see footage of any Raider game other than the 30 seconds that I made TV because they told me where to go to cut the video. And I'm not lying to you. I haven't seen dick for TV coverage the entire 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, and I understand that, but it was frustrating. That's all I can say. Violator the rock star, indeed he is. All right, I gotta move on, or I'm just going to get angry. Philadelphia into Washington and beat the Commodores or whatever they are now. And Philadelphia's already talking about booking tickets to Phoenix. I think they need to be really careful about that.
We need to talk about the Commodores. We need to have Machine Gun ready. I know Violator knows the song Machine Gun.
Exactly. Cue it up. That's what I thought about when he said it.
Commodores, that's right.
That's it. Anyway.
I'll take the Machine Gun.
Well, if Washington wants to turn their season around, they're going to have to go into Dallas this week and beat the Cowboys. And they might. I don't know. We don't know what Dallas team we have right now. The Washington Commodities. That's what I meant. Whatever it is.
Commodities.
Commies?
I like Commodores.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
I like Commodores. Get White and you get Lionel Richie in there, man.
I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. White is with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I apologize. I got the wrong guy because White is with Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Lionel Richie was with the Commodores. I apologize to all the people out there. I got now, or you take Earth, Wind, and Fire with the Commodores. That's an awesome.
That's a hell of a show right there. But anyway,
yeah.
Yeah, and for those that are in Florida, waiting on the hurricane, our thoughts and prayers are with you that you can be safe and all that. Yeah, so the comments in there, that's not lost on us. I was going to cover that after the break, but it's here now. So, if you need a place to stay,
you know why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Jacksonville went into Los Angeles to beat the Chargers. In a week when the Raiders really could have benefited in a great way with a win at Tennessee because the Chargers and Chiefs lost, and Denver won accidentally. You can't more accidentally win a game than that one. And I fault the 49ers for just not even bothering to show up. But anyway, the Chargers got beat. I think I picked Jacksonville. I'm not surprised. I think Jacksonville's for real, at least at the moment. You can't argue with the way they're playing. I mean, they could be 3-0 if they'd beaten Washington in week 1. But, again, they're saying that – I heard somebody on NFL Network saying that, September is the preseason because nobody played in the preseason. Well, we're paying a lot of money for a lot of crappy football if that's the way it is.
Absolutely.
Go out there like in Miami and get your butt kicked by the punter. By the way, that guy in Miami that got kicked by the punter, he better be glad that wasn't Shane Leckler back there. He'd had a colonoscopy after the game.
Emergency surgery.
No doubt. Los Angeles went into Arizona and beat the Cardinals, got a division win on the road. Atlanta went into Seattle, beat the Sea Chickens, as Cool Kev likes to call them. Not surprised there. I mean, the Falcons aren't playing any defense, but they're scoring a lot of points. They're like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like number 8 NFL in scoring. If they play a little defense, that division might be a little more topsy-turvy than we think. But I think you got to keep one eye on the Falcons, don't you, to see if they're going to maybe resurrect some form of the Dirty Bird Shuffle thing or no?
Unless only way I'll do that is they pick up 2 or 3 studs on the defensive side of the ball before the trading deadline. Otherwise they're a year away at least.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not sure those players are out there, but but Atlanta, you can't argue with Atlanta scoring points. Like you said, you got to play defense. But Atlanta and Las Vegas, quite frankly, are 2 teams that fit the perfect adage of offense wins game, defense wins championship. So, I mean, I know we haven't won any games yet, but thanks for all the well wishes in Florida. Oh, that's from you. Yes, absolutely. Green Bay went into Tampa Bay to play the game of the century, and it was
hey, freaking fake Pirates lost. I don't care. I didn't see the game. They just got an L, baby. L.
The good news was Tampa Bay lost. The refs tried to give it to Tampa Bay, but they didn't. San Francisco lost in Denver. San Francisco lost in Denver in one of the most ugly games I think I've ever seen.
That was hard to watch, man.
Hard.
That was hard.
And they want us to pay for NFL Plus for that crap? No way. Dallas
go right ahead.
Yeah, Dallas went into New York to take on the Giants. This is a game, guys, the Giants should have won, could have won, needed to win, but they didn't. The Dallas defense showed up despite the fact that the Dallas offense didn't show up until really late in the game. It was a 7-point win for the Cowboys on the road in the division. They get Washington again this week. But for a Monday nighter, quite the waste of talent of Buck and Aikman to listen to those guys try to figure out how to make a crappy game sound good. But in any case, let's take a quick break. Now we close the book on week 3. Come back, talk about week 4 and Hurricane, whatever his name is. What's it, Ian?
Ian. Yes.
Ian.
Yes.
Ian.
Yeah.
And how many passes do you make before you shoot a basket? 4.
Yeah.
I'm doing Gene Hackman, man. Come on.
That's it. I get you, man.
Before we go to break, you know what I got 2 things to say. The first one is they should have named this Hurricane Cindy in honor of the destructive biatch that was my ex-wife. The second thing is
if we're gonna go there, then it's Hurricane Carolina. But that's goes without saying.
Hey, I can be gender neutral. You can call it whatever you want. There's somebody else asked Michael Jordan if he thought that the Chicago Bulls teams that he played on could beat LeBron James's Lakers. And he said yes. And they said, well, what do you think the score would be? He said, well, we'd probably beat him by 1 or 2 points. And they said, well, why would the game be so close? He said, well, because we're all
you got to remember, I'm about 60 years old.
Yeah. Let's take a break. Very rare that we throw another sport into this one, but you gotta appreciate MJ Sumer there. 23 reasons to love that guy. We'll be right back. All right, everybody.
Hey, Ref,
Welcome to
before you go
NFL
in
Nation
there,
Live. Huh? Go ahead.
I had to jump in because, again, I love the fact that you throw in a Ty Cobb joke and polish it up and make it a Michael Jordan one. That's wonderful.
You're welcome. I didn't realize I did that, but sure. Yeah. Anything I can do to make you happy.
We'll talk post
Copy
show. There you go.
All right. So for all those that may be impacted by the hurricane, obviously for NFL Nation Live, you have our well wishes. That said, Cap, tonight you get to pick who's winning a T-shirt. Woo! So what we're going to do is you're going to pick from all the chat comments that either you remember from the first half of the show or one that you pick from the second half of the show. The person that you pick that has the cleverest, the wittiest, the funniest, the craziest chat comment wins a T-shirt.
This ought to be good.
Yeah.
This
So
ought to be
in the
good.
chat, you're in the chat, throw out some entertainment. Maybe if there's something happened this week that caught your attention, maybe somebody got their butt kicked, maybe somebody wears a Batman cape. I mean, you just never know, right? Minnesota. Okay. Miami from Minnesota. I don't know why I have Minnesota.
Like that.
Yeah. We beat them in the Super Bowl. Miami's going to go into Cincinnati. See, I'm not that old. Miami's going to go into Cincinnati to the Jungle, play the Bengals. I like the Bengals in this one only because Miami's all beat up after playing the Buffalo Bills. They're on a short week. What do you guys think? Who do you like? Dolphins undefeated season. Well, unbeaten record at 3-0 is on the line now going forward, and it starts the defense of that after beating Buffalo starts in Cincinnati on a Thursday. They got a short week. They got to fly in there. They got to play a Bengals team that, I don't know, they beat the Jets last week. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm taking Cincinnati. This is a safe bet in this one. Like I say, you've got one player that's probably on the verge of IR because of a butt cheek sore. And like I say, I don't think Tua's all the way back from that hard hit that he took on the turf. They can fluff that around all they want. That's a tough guy, but I'm taking Cincinnati at home. I think that defense got something in mind for them.
Okay, I'll bite on the knock doc joke. Cap, what do you think? You like Dolphins or you like the striped cats, also known as the Bengals?
Yeah, I'll and it's in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, because you're laying it out for him. It's really you got Tua who is not great, but he's just playing greater than normal. But he's injured on a short week. Going to Cincinnati at a home game where Burrow and the boys should play much better. I mean, the Bengals on accident should play better than the Dolphins.
That's right.
Do on purpose. Although they're a better team this year, I'll take the stray cat struts over.
Yeah, if it was in Miami, I'd probably If it was in Miami, I'd probably stay with the Dolphins just because of the travel factor. But I just think the Dolphins aren't going to be ready to play. I think they're still licking their wounds over their win against the Bills, and it was a good one. But if there's a trap game for Miami, this might be it. Minnesota gonna go to London to take on the Saints. I don't have any comment on that one. I'm not even gonna watch it. Cleveland gonna go into Atlanta take on the Falcons. That's the interconference game, but I don't think anybody cares. But people over in London probably care. But they're gonna pay a lot of money to go see a game where there's gonna be what's gonna be like 16-9.
I'm taking Minnesota in that one though.
Well, okay. Yeah, I think the Vikings by accident. But, those games, you don't know when the teams leave and what their travel schedule is, what they're going to eat. Somebody goes over there and have some bad crabs or something. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. What is the difference between the Chiefs fan and a baby? Hey, the baby will stop whining after a while.
Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Wow.
All right. Well, you might write that one down, Cap.
He's on the list there. Yeah.
I had Sharif in the lead, but I tell you what, that comment from Matthew 72007
Yeah,
is
it got a
now in
chuckle
the
out of me. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ed says, how can
That's now in the
Cousins play
lead.
at 8:30?
At
Well, he
8:30
can't.
a.m.
That's the problem. He can't. I don't think he can. But maybe I don't know. But I agree with V. I think the Vikings just win that by accident. I think Cleveland's going to get the running game, go down to Atlanta. This one could be fairly high scoring. I mean, Cleveland's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 in scoring, two spots or 3 spots ahead of Atlanta. So this could be a fairly high scoring game with neither team really playing much in the way of defense. And then, although Cleveland's defense normally I think would be better, they're without what's his name on the defensive side because of the car wreck. So I think that they're going to be maybe a little more limited. But this could be an offensive game, could be fun to watch. But I like Cleveland just because they can run the ball, and Atlanta really can't stop anybody.
That's my take too, and I'm taking Cleveland on the road because of Cleveland's defense.
Yeah,
Atlanta,
such as it is. Yeah,
Atlanta can score, but they can't score enough points to top Cleveland.
Right. I think they're just going to run out of time.
They're going to run the ball too.
Yeah.
Remember that. They're going to run the ball.
Exactly. So if Cleveland goes down there, plays their game, runs the ball, runs the clock. I agree with you, V. I think they'll score their points. Atlanta can score points. I just don't know if they'll have enough offensive tries in order to match the scoring. So if the clock becomes an issue, it would be theoretically in Cleveland's favor from that standpoint. Buffalo going to go into Baltimore and try to regroup, circle the wagons, if you will. The Ravens, are pretty good. We all know the Lamar Jackson factor, blah, blah, blah. But this is a Buffalo Bills team, y'all, that is pissed off. I don't know of any team that wants to play Buffalo this week, including the Baltimore Ravens, even though the Bills have a short bus ride, if you will, mini plane ride, whatever, down to Baltimore. To take on the Purple Peeps. Do you guys really seeing a way that Baltimore really can win this? I mean, remember, Baltimore's leading the NFL in scoring. Buffalo, where's Buffalo? They're number 3. So they're very close. But I just think Buffalo's the better all-around team. Again, I think they're just going to be pissed off.
Who's got the defense? Yeah.
Now, Buffalo.
Yeah. Who's got the better defense? Buffalo does.
Buffalo.
And if they're that close in scoring, I'll take the guys with the better defense who are freaking pissed off to boot.
Yeah. The comment in that Cordell Patterson, the guy from the Falcons, is on my fantasy team for the same reason. He showed up last week. I think he's gonna show up every week. I mean, to me, this is one of the hidden gems in fantasy football, and maybe in real football as well. But he's clearly good. Only 3 weeks in, shaking my head. Well, okay. Washington going to go into Dallas, play the Cowboys. This is a Washington team that's like, Carson Wentz is not
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, not who we thought he was. Their defense is better than the Giants. Washington's defense is better than the Giants. So Dallas probably has a little bit more trouble. But if Dallas continues to play with the attitude that they played with last night in New York, then this division clearly comes down between the Eagles and Cowboys, maybe more Eagles and Cowboys, but at least Dallas would be setting it up for a showdown if they can go in there, beat Washington, then they'd have 2 division wins early in the season. What do you guys think? Why do ducks fly over Arrowhead Stadium upside down? There's nothing worth crapping on.
Oh my God! Matthew's on the road, man.
Yeah, there's a 2-drink minimum in here.
Right.
It's only 1 T-shirt, but you can keep it coming.
I'm taking Dallas and this one. I'm impressed with Cooper Rush standing in for Dak. The defense actually came and played. They've got some good guys on that side of the ball, and that one guy in the middle, I forgot what his
Michael
name
Parsons?
was. No, not Michael. A big D tackle was raising hell on Dallas's D line.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if they start doing that stuff, then the Eagles may have to back off on ordering those Super Bowl tickets. But the Dallas could make it interesting if they keep playing like that. I don't know what changed their attitude on defense, but if they keep that up, because what happened is they started the Giants on offense started forcing the throws. You start forcing the throws, and you get interceptions like they did too.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
getting ready for Wild Wild West show. Okay, well, that's a perfect lead in because the upside down sea chicken's going to go into Detroit and get their ass handed to them by the Lions. I don't know if anybody's dumb enough to take Seattle going into Detroit. You guys think that Seahawks have any chance against the Lions?
That's why. Get this shit right.
Yeah, up there on the northern French quarter of Michigan.
Well, I got the Detroit with a big pot of boiling water, so the feathers come off the sea chickens very easily now. You soak them quickly, and then pluck the leaves.
Yeah, well, and they know how to boil water because they did it over in Flint, Michigan.
There you
If
go.
a Bama fan divorces his wife, is she still his sister? Now that's actually a Kentucky. It's actually a Kentucky joke, but we could let it slide to Alabama. Yeah, is she still his sister? In Alabama, the answer is no. Kentucky, the answer is yes, but it's still a good joke.
Close.
Yeah. The Chargers going to go into Houston and get beat by the Texans. You guys see any way the Chargers are going to win this? Bosa's all dinged up. Herbert's still hurt. I think the Chargers aren't on a slide, but I just think they're running into a couple buzzsaws in the AFC South after getting beat by Jacksonville. They won't get their ass handed to them like the Jaguars did, but this Texans team is gritty, and the Chargers really don't match up well with gritty. So I don't know. I like the Texans to get their win at home.
I'm taking Texans in a close one.
How did the Flyers mascot get into this conversation?
Flyer.
Who? The Flyers. Are you talking about the Philadelphia Flyers?
Right. That's their mascot. His name is Gritty. I'm like, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Gritty.
Just by accident.
It is really
okay.
It is Gritty. Yeah.
Yeah. Wayne,
upon further review, the call stands.
Gritty.
Here's the joke for week 3. The AFC West is the best division in the NFL.
That is.
Yeah. That needs the rim shot and double cymbals.
Yeah. I wish I had sound effects on this show. I should work on that. Tennessee going to go into Indianapolis and face a Colts team. It's all liquored up after their win against the Chiefs this week. Can the Titans replay what they did against the Raiders in terms of formula, or are the Colts going to have their way with the what did Cool Kev call the Whiskey Pete's, I think?
My answer is no.
Hey, do I win a T-shirt for the whiskey? Never mind. Yeah. So who wins this? The Indiana No Place Colts or the Whiskey Pete's? I like the Colts at home. I think they're just finally getting their groove back.
Yeah.
Not that they ever had one, but if they had one and lost it, they got it back. Yeah. Okay.
I got the Colts at home too, because they will keep it simple. They will also run the ball, use that nice running back and old line that they've got, beat up a little bit on these guys, and eke out a win at home.
That's an interesting comment. Miami reminds me of Kurt Warner's Rams. Now, I think that's a hell of a comparison considering that they won a Super Bowl and they're all in the Hall of Fame, so to speak. But Miami reminds me of Kurt Warner's Rams. Was Falk, Hill, and Waddle, and tight end is decent. I totally agree with that. In terms of their ability to match up well with anybody in the AFC at this point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they definitely have the speed.
Argue that at all.
Good one, Francisco. Good one.
But you got to keep Tua upright though.
Yeah. Well, and I think they will. I think. Yeah, I agree with you, Cap, and I think that they'll fix that. And all that said, if the Dolphins can duct tape themselves into 75% or 80% of what they normally are, they'll beat the Bengals. I'm just not sure that. Hey, cool, Kev. I'm just not sure they're gonna pull that off. So, Kev, welcome to the show. We're keeping track of the best comments, whether they be funny or snarky or whatever. Cap's keeping track. That person wins a T-shirt. Last one. What's the best part about dating a Chargers fan? She won't be asking for a ring.
You know. Oh my God, he gets 2 points for that one, man. But anyway, yeah, we got to get that for cymbals and drums, man. We got to bring that in. Oh my God,
Yeah,
this
get
guy's on
to
the
the ring
road,
shot,
man.
Hey, now, Kev's in there. That's what she said. Keep Tua up. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, they probably. With the disclaimer. This is NFL Nation Live After Dark.
Right,
'Cause we're doing a
right.
special Tuesday show, so
That's
we're
right.
getting a little. We're getting a little soft here, but already won a T-shirt here at the casino. I took first place. Yeah, but it's not one of our T-shirts. You can use that other one for a polish rag. You'll wear one of ours proudly wherever you go. All right, where the hell are we? Oh, Chicago going to go into New York to take on the Giants. These are two old school football teams that are going to battle it out again. This matchup is ridiculous because you don't know who's going to show up. You got the lackadaisical, you got the talented but lackadaisical Bears against the Giants team that today, Tuesday after last night's going, what do we have to do to beat the Cowboys? Well, next time score more points, but 16 points against the Bears might beat Chicago. You guys have any Giants win on the rebound, if you can call it that. Maybe so. What do you guys think? I'd like the Giants at home, and I think I do. I'm just not sure if the Bears are actually as good as we think they are, but I don't know. They don't play well on the road. They're like possums. They're like dead on the road.
I would like to take the Giants at home. Both teams have a decent running game, but the edge goes to the QB, and that's Justin Fields.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would think if the weather's in their favor, V, that's probably the way it is. If it's not, if it's a weather game, not so sure. I think it slows all of that down, right?
Slows that down, exactly.
And then Barkley's going to have a field day, I think. So if the Giants get the running game going, the Bears are in trouble, quite frankly. So it's really up to the OC to see what's going on there. So we're not at the Raiders game just yet because they play late on Sunday. But Cap, there's a comment in there. Francisco Pancho, Raiders O-line if healthy. Miller, Parham, James, Illuminor, and Munford.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Are you thumbs up or down on that? That sounds good to me.
James, Illuminor. I like that myself. That's thumbs up.
Bears
if healthy.
Yeah, Bears D is for real. Well, if they are, then they need to show up this week in New York and show us instead of around like they've been doing the last couple of weeks. I mean, they almost got beat by Houston at home. Okay. So I realized that holding a team to 20 points is pretty good, but your offense only scored 23, and they were lucky to get that. So if the Bears defense is for real, and you might be right, then they beat the Giants 20-0 or 6 or something. But let's see. But yeah, if you're right, then they can't get Barkley going, and that's going to be a problem for the Giants because they obviously can't throw the damn ball. We saw that last night. Bears run loose in East Rutherford. Okay. Illuminor is the new Brandon Parker. Yeah, and what's his name in Philadelphia is the new Batman.
Yes, sir. No, that could have been a T-shirt question there, though. But anyway.
Yeah, Jacksonville going to go into Philadelphia to play the Eagles. The only storyline here is that, Jacksonville team's a little saucy. They got an attitude. I don't think they're as good as the Eagles, but their head coach won a Super Bowl there as a statue outside the stadium. Is that going to play a role in Sunday's game? Or the Eagles just going to fly right on by?
I look for this one to be one of the most entertaining games, to use that word that I hate. Philly is for real, and Jacksonville is showing that they've got some moxie or some gritty. And I think it's going to be a duel of the quarterbacks, personally.
Yeah, if that's the case, I'm taking Hurts at home. Might be close, 23-20, 24-28, something like that. But I'm liking these offensive line comments coming in. Pretty good for the Raiders. Let's circle back to some of those. You can remember what they are. New York Jets going into Pittsburgh, play the Steelers. I don't think anybody cares except the Steelers. This is a game the Steelers need to win, should win, can win. But you don't know what Jets team's going to show up. If a Jets team that show up that played in Cleveland, Pittsburgh's in deep doo-doo. If Pittsburgh gets a Jets that showed up last week against Cincinnati, Steelers probably get the win at home. But I think if the Steelers lose to the Jets at home, it's time for Kenny Pickett. Cardinals going to go ahead.
No, I'm taking Pitt in this one, but I'm looking at how that New York Jets defense almost killed their defensive coordinator on the sideline. So that's going to be a pissed off team going into Pittsburgh. So look out, because Kenny Pickett may have to start.
Yeah, well, I hope they like yellow, because there's going to be a lot of those damn terrible towels flying.
Yeah, them
Eagles
damn
give
towels.
the Jags a Pat Geno's cheesesteak. Yeah. Probably one of those microwavable ones, too, where you don't even have to take the wrapper off first. Give the wide receiver some stickum. Yeah. I got some stickum stories I could tell you. I played back in the day when you could use that stuff. Mm-hmm. Don't work good in the rain. Just saying. Arizona going to go to Carolina and take on the Panthers. I think the Birds are finally angry. I think the Panthers are in big trouble. They managed to go in last week at home to beat New Orleans. But this is a whole different matchup for them, and I think they're in big trouble. I like the Cardinals on the road. Maybe big, like 37-16 or something.
Well, I don't say it's that much of an ass kicking, but I'm taking Arizona on the road also, man. Baker's going to be in a world of hurt, man. They're going to unleash that D on him, I think.
Yeah. Well, and the Panthers defense is decent. I don't know if they're Kyler Murray 60 minutes decent, and I think that's going to be a problem because the Panthers are just not putting the points on the board at this point. My Colts analysis was first half defense couldn't stop a fly. Waller played his worst game as a Raider, and coaching that keeps questioning themselves. We need to stop playing 2 quarters and play 2 halves.
2 halves. I like that.
Yeah, playing 60 minutes wouldn't hurt either, but yeah.
Nice one, Raider Gabe. I agree. I agree on that one.
Yeah. Cap did the stick 'em in the late 70s. Oh, I didn't know you could smoke it too. I just thought you used it to play ball with. New England going to go into Green Bay, get their ass handed to them.
Cap says he's backstage. Cap says.
Did I accidentally shut you off?
Yeah.
No, there was a computer glitch and I had to reboot.
I'm sorry.
So apologies. No, that was on me.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't see that you were offline. I'm sorry.
No, I saw it.
I guess I'm that noticeable.
I got the glasses on. I could read it, man. And
I've got all my cheat notes up, so my regular camera screen's smaller, so I just didn't see it.
I'm watching these comments, man. I want to see who's going to win this shirt tonight.
Yeah, in my opinion, only Collins, Adams, and Renfro know the offense. Everyone else clueless. McDaniel's offense is extremely complicated to have run at least 20. There's a lot of truth in that. The question I have is who's calling the plays? Is McDaniel's calling the plays?
I don't care who's running. Just run the damn ball, man.
Well, I hear you on that front, and I agree with you. But if he's calling the plays, he needs to down and turn it over to somebody who knows how to run the offense and literally run the offense.
Well,
have to run 25 times per game, yes, until they stop it. Run it till they stop it.
Right, absolutely.
And when they stop it, run somewhere else.
Run somewhere else. There you go. See,
and that brings us to the Raiders game. They're at home this week against Denver. It's a game we can win, should win, and we should win by a lot. This should be a 27-10 win for the Raiders. We'll be lucky if it's 19-16 or something like that. But I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about this. You've been watching the comments. There's a lot of good stuff in there about the Raiders offense, offensive line. Cap or V, tell us what you think.
Oh, me now? Okay, because we both pointed and said we have that much respect.
Wait. Kev says Lombardi's calling the plays? What?
Yeah, well, if Lombardi,
that's what I heard. Yeah,
if Lombardi is calling the plays, you remember in game one when Lombardi was calling the plays in the first half, and it ended up being McDaniel's calling them in the second half, and that's when we started moving the ball. Okay, and we played better in the second half. If Lombardi is calling the plays, then McDaniel's needs to do he needs to do an Andy Reid in that he takes over the play calling duties until he figures out somebody that he trusts that can do it with the enemy. Okay,
Well,
because Andy Reid
I'll
was the
do
head
it.
coach and
I'll do it.
calling plays. So
I'll
if
do
that's true, then
God damn it.
McDaniel needs to call the plays, because if we're blaming all of this crap on McDaniels for having an inept offense and it's really Lombardi, then he needs to be fired immediately, and McDaniels has to pull double duty. Okay, I'm just saying that.
I'll call the goddamn plays for you. And here's the 2 fucking plays we're going to run. We're going to run goddamn 17 Bob Trail until they can't fucking breathe. And when they quit doing that, then it's 7, and then it's going to be 25 bingo cross over the middle to whoever the hell's open. Those are the only 2 goddamn plays we're going to need for the whole game. And let's go kick somebody's ass.
Yeah. Just like Denzel said, the playbook is thin, but it's like Novocaine. You keep feeding it to them, and it works after a while, whatever the hell it was. But it doesn't matter. If the plays work, if they're not being stopped, keep running the fucking plays.
I tell you what, gentlemen, I'm taking the Raiders at home in a close one, and here's my thing. There's a lot of undercurrent stuff going on that we're not privy to, but you can see it when they step on the field. If they don't bring some attitude, some nasty out there, it's game over. You got 5 good running backs in that stable. Run them until their tongue's falling out, and then rotate them and run them some more.
Yeah. And when they bring other guys in the box to stop the run, drop with their head. You got the guys to go deep. You got plenty of speed. You got plenty of talent to go deep, but you can't go deep when they're going to drop 8 guys back there because you don't think you're going to run the ball anymore.
Exactly. It's not that complicated. Trust me.
Carr said in a press conference, some players are not practicing as hard.
That is a hint. So they're not buying in, or they're just quitting on the coach.
Ship them off to Tampa Bay. That's what they do there. Deep to Adams or Waller or Hollins. Yeah.
Not an argument at all.
We can't run until Andre James gets back.
And that's crap, Kev, because we are running 5.1 with Jacobs and 5.7 with the other running back. That's what they're averaging, and that was the last 2 games, or at least this past game, 5-1 and 5-7, and Andre James hasn't played the last 2 games. Bull.
Well, yeah. You got to give Kev credit, though, for stirring the pot. I like that.
It's definitely stirred it right there.
I'm good with that.
I love it.
So what was that one? What's a touchdown, Dad? I'm not sure, son. We're Denver Broncos fans. Well, I'll keep it up for another week. Better keep Hollins on the field. That kid has hands. Yeah.
And heart.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Waller's the tight end, though, so it's fine to have Adams over there. But then what can you really, really do with Hollins? Hollins should be your slot guy. Hollins should be your Jerry Porter. Okay?
Yes,
Adams should be around. You need a Jerry Rice-ish on the other side. And then Waller. You can't have Waller as one of your, quote, wide receivers because you don't have anybody on the other side. You can't. Mm-hmm. That's just not going to work. It's always worked when you've had 2 guys on the outside to clean out, and then a slot guy who can kick your ass when he wants to. Yeah. We've done it ever since I can remember. We had Warren Wells, and we had Biletnikoff, and we had Branch, and we had Raymond Chester, and we had Dave Casper, and we had Cliff Branch, and who was on the other side of Branch? Was it Malcolm Barnwell?
Yeah, on the other side, yeah.
Barnwell, you had Jet, you had the guy Swervin Mervin Fernandez.
Swervin
Mervin. Yeah. I mean, those were all guys that
Williams.
You had to cover, they'd hurt you. Yeah. And what the problem is, we've got guys that can hurt you, but we don't have enough to break the coverage down. So we either got to do that by running the ball to bring some people up, so that you can get those mismatches. You can't just expect them to happen. right? You can't just go out there and go, oh, we're going to throw it to Devontae Adams. Well, why?
They're ready for that.
It's not because he's necessarily going to be open. Maybe in some cases he will, but it's about the mismatches, and you have to create some deception, or you have to have talent around the rest of the ball in order to be able to make that happen. Cole should be benched for dropping that TD pass.
Yeah, I mean,
he dropped the touchdown pass. Waller dropped the touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Cole dropped 3 passes. Waller dropped 3. Well, he dropped 2 and tipped 1.
Yeah. Raiders should run out of passing formations. Well, and they should pass out of running formations. Walter is focused on Plum's tight. I missed it. But, yeah, I think you're right. I think I know where you're going with that. Red zone offense continues to be a problem this day and age. You got to score a touchdown. Absolutely.
So I said the red zone is the red zone. When they get to the 20, they stop.
Yeah, the last game, absolutely. They stopped every freaking time down there. Selling for 3 will not win games. Trust me.
No.
You've got to score. You got
the other team. Adams is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Well, Green Bay. And I'm not saying he's not now, but our offense isn't capable of making him the best wide receiver. When Renfro gets back, the matchups will open up. What do you mean when he gets back?
I think he was in concussion protocol this week.
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't heard any updates, but I know he was in concussion protocol.
Well, all I know is that if Renfro comes back, okay, Hollins had such a great game. There's no reason that Keelan Cole should be out there. And I was a proponent for Keelan Cole, but I've seen enough that Hollins is your 3. Okay.
Yeah.
If Adams is 1 and Renfro is 2, Hollins is 3. No ifs, ands, and buts. And they forgot about Tyron Johnson. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's a no-show.
And it's I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah. So we've got weapons. The thing is utilizing them all in
a creative way, right?
In a creative, creative way. You got to think outside of the box.
Yeah, because if you've got weaknesses like we do on the offensive line or wherever they are, you have to find ways to mitigate that. And I agree with you guys that our play calling doesn't seem to be taking advantage of whatever strengths we do have to minimize what weaknesses we might have, especially when it comes to matchups. But again, I'll give them a chance to beat the Broncos this week. But if that's close, then to me that's ugly, even if it's a win. If this Raider team really wants to turn it around, then they need to hand it to a Broncos team that is clearly struggling and beat them 27-10.
Blow them out.
If it's 17-14 or something, then okay, we got the win. But I don't like those accidental wins.
Yeah.
Renfro, let's see. We have Jacobs and Zeus to run the ball. Yep. I think we're all on the same page with running the ball. I bet they find them every time they drop a pass, that crap would stop. Yeah, well, they actually, the refs don't throw the flags on the passes we drop. They throw the holding flags on the ones we catch. So we're screwed either way from that standpoint. Okay, Cap, Raiders can run some crossing routes. It wouldn't hurt. That's true, Cap, but I'm not sure
time to run those.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Carr has the time to throw those. But, yeah,
takes
the Raiders don't win this Sunday against the Broncos, then our season is over. Yeah, I agree with the first part at least. I'm not sure how long a leash McDaniels has. You got to have some patience, but I don't know. I want you guys to remember when we talked about this way back when they were talking about who the next head coach is going to be. I told you guys I did not want Josh McDaniels. That was the one guy I told you I didn't want. We talked about all kinds of other people, and there were some people that we liked, blah, 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 but he was the one guy I told you I didn't want. And that's the one we got. And so
I was willing to give him a chance to see, to see how he operated. I was willing to do it, but again, so far I have not been impressed. According to Bishop, who is in Vegas, he said the word is out on the street that if McDaniel shits the bed this game, he's gone.
Well, he should be. If they get beat by Denver, he should be gone. for all the time that they've had to try to figure this out. But my guess is that he gets the win, and he's going to get a stay for another couple 3 weeks until we're 1-7 or 8, and then they maybe pull the trigger. But who's your interim coach going to be? All I can say is I can tell you guys from way back, McDaniels is the guy I did not want. Okay, Cap, it's time to wrap up the show. It's late everywhere. Who's winning our T-shirt tonight?
I'm sorry, and it's because I'm a comic. I got to give it to Matthew 72007 for like 3 zingers in a row.
Okay.
You can't beat that. Honorable mention though, because I actually took that shit seriously about if I'm going to crown a winner, I'm going to make sure I do. Francisco Pancho for several key comments about the Raiders as well. So Francisco gets an honorable mention. Georgia Patriot was also a several honorable mention, but he already won one. Georgia, I love you, but I can't give a prize to somebody who's already won one, But it's definitely Matthew 72007. Sharif was in there until Matthew dropped those 3 in a row.
Yeah. So Cool Kev says, bring in Rob Ryan. I got a 4-letter word for you for that, and it's
Rob Ryan. No.
When the last time Josh McDaniels won a game 12 years ago, he won. Okay. All right. So Matthew, please email
72
email if you're still out there listening. Email your shipping information to NFLLive@gmail.com and your shirt size, and we'll get your shirt out to you. For the rest of you who had honorable mentions that were also just otherwise hanging out, come back because we got other stuff to give away in a couple weeks. There's some stuff still going on in chat. Okay, couple news items. Pass the word around. There's no show next week, week 5. NFL Nation Live for the first time in 4 years is taking a bye week. Ref Guru has to go to Lambeau Field, cheer on the Packers. We will be back on schedule Wednesday at 6 p.m. for week 6. That's October 11th. No, sorry. So no show next week, which is October 5th. We'll be back October 12th for week 6. Take you through to the Super Bowl. Thanks everybody for cheering us on, being in the chat. Oh, did I turn the chat off? Oh,
looks.
The chat should have been on.
I was watching. No, I was watching comments.
Oh, yeah, me too. But sorry about that, folks. I think I actually had the chat turned off by accident. But we were watching your comments. It's late. It's late. I didn't have my Snickers. I'm not myself. I don't know who I am, but so I apologize for not having the chat on, but we were watching your comments. I'll get it right one of these days. These technical directors, I should fire them. Violator, if you can autograph my T-shirt, please.
I can do that.
Kev thinks he's getting a T-shirt. Where have we seen this before? In Denver. Yeah.
But wait a second. McDaniels actually started like 7-0 in Denver. He didn't start 0-7. He didn't shit the bit until when he went towards the end where he lost like 7 in a row. So
yeah. Matthew says stay safe, Cap, and as we said on the show, everybody stay safe. So Matthew 72007, again, send your information to NFLNationLive@gmail.com. And I'll forward that to Mr. Violator, who will get your T-shirt out. Thanks, Cap, for keeping track of everybody. Thanks, everybody, for joining the show. We'll see you on Wednesday, October 12th in 2 weeks. What, Pete?
And Cool Kev, get me that shirt, and I'll autograph it for you and send it back to you, brother. No problem.
What? Kev gets autograph? God, dang. All these people getting all this cool stuff. I've watched 3 Denver games. We're extremely blessed as Raiders. Yeah. If we want to move on, we need a real quarterback. No, it's not all Carr's fault, but he ain't the guy.
Case closed.
I'm not going to argue that. I will give him credit for having to make all these changes. He's had like 8 head coaches since he's been there. Thanks, Kev. Appreciate that. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Go around the table real quick. V, last thoughts on week 4.
My last thought and my first thought. Let's get a win Sunday.
Cap.
Providing that the weather clears by Friday, I will be flying out Friday. I'm hoping that happens because, damn it, I want to get my ass out to Vegas to see my boy Wayne and see all of the family. Wayne will have to check to do something that weekend as well. But again, let's get a fucking win, man! I'm pissed off. I'm sorry I dropped the F.
Yeah, that's okay. But I do think. I know we don't have a show next week, but I do think that if we had the show next week, we will not be talking about the officiating. I really hope I'm right about that. I think Lance Clark's crew is a pretty darn good crew. So it is what it is. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Remember, we'll see you. I know it's Tuesday now, but we'll see you. We're usually here on Wednesdays, but we'll see you in 2 weeks for week 6. Bring it back. Hold on to it for a couple weeks, and we'll bring the prizes back. Let's take it. Head coach calling the plays. Yeah. Maybe not.
Neither are the guys.
Yeah, right. Again, I'll call the plays. I only need 2. 17 Bob Trail.
And some execution. Let's go.
Yeah.
Executing the offensive line. That's what
I would execute everybody who doesn't run the play right. For goddamn
That's
sure.
right.
I call better plays in my sleep. That's exactly exactly. Okay, everybody. Oh, man, it's been fun. We should maybe do these after dark ones more often.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Unchained.
Yeah, I love that. NFL Nation Live Unchained. Woo. Yeah, I love it. Okay,
Yes,
everybody.
sir.
Take care. I'll wait for you from Lambeau. That is true. Take care, everybody.
Yeah!
Right on cue. I love it. Information Live after dark.
After dark.